Hi, this is Missy. I wanted to show you today what I did and the makeup of the bloom pour that I had done before. First thing, you start with the canvas. I take like a blue painter's tape because it's not too sticky, and I go around the sides. I also put little tacks in the bottom so that it elevates your canvas on your working table so that you can get your fingers underneath it. Today we start out with a bloom pour, and what I use is a regular house paint. It is a base C, which is the most important part. This is a semi-gloss. This happens to be a Velspar, but I've also used Behr, I've also used Glidden, I've also used Sherwin-Williams. The most important part is just that it's a base C because it's a thicker, heavier base. This particular one, you add a tint to it. Now you can get the same product in a white if you want to do a lot of paintings in the white background. And that might be even easier because you don't have to do any mixing. You can just stir it up, make sure it's the right consistency, and you pour it on. And what I've done here is I just poured some in a small cup a little bit earlier, and I put in eggshell to make a base coat. You don't want to stir it really fast because it will just create bubbles. So just take your time. It generally takes about 8 to 10 minutes, but this is called, like I said before, a pillow coat or a base coat. And I just pour it right on the canvas, and this just gives a little more thickness. You know, your canvas has a porousness to it, so I want something that the colors are going to run really easily on it. And then you just spread it out. I just want to make sure that it gets to all the corners here. Now, to keep things simple, what I did is I used a pouring compound. It's an acrylic. They come in many different varieties and manufacturers. This particular one is an Artist Loft. I have another one here that is a Master's Touch, but you can easily identify them because it'll say pre-mixed medium. So what I did is I just poured some paint in the bottom of a cup. Here is another one. This is by Art Deco, but I really liked the coral color because these other colors are really deep. I wanted to have a contrast and see what it would do. I always stir a little bit because I want to make sure that the pouring consistencies are the same. So they're all compatible and will work with the consistency of the base coat. So on this particular pour, as you can see, it's not too thin. It's running off the spoon. Another nice thing is that these particular types of paint, because they've already been pre-mixed, they're already pre-mixed with the same amount of medium, so you don't have to work with flow charts and make sure that they're all dripping at the same rate. What I'm doing now is I'm getting rid of little bubbles because I want everything to flow nicely. Let's see. So I'm breaking little bubbles here that were created in the base coat because I just mixed it, and so there's still little bubbles in it. These would come out if you mixed it the night before. They can leave little blemishes in your final painting, so we want to keep them at a minimum. It's just a little heat gun. I roll it over the top It's a little baby blowtorch, and you can get these easily on Etsy or any little hardware store. So what I'm gonna do now is just start pouring the paints. I'm gonna start with the dark blue. I like to mix the colors up. So it's like I may want more than another one. I may want them on top of each other. There's a cell activator, which I like to play with. It creates like a lace work. I use Floetrol. This is an Australian Floetrol. It's quite expensive, so it's nice because you don't need a lot of it. The proportions on this is 1 part paint to about 3 parts Floetrol. But what I do is pour in a little so it's mixed, and then I pour in a little bit more until it gets to the right consistency. And you want to make sure that it is thoroughly stirred up. Cells are pieces of the paint that have grown up in particular shapes. It can make like a lacy effect on your painting. I will pour the cell activator on top of that. I think I'm going to use a little bit more of this turquoise here. Maybe go around a little bit. This is the house paint. This is the pillow. I'm just putting a little more around the sides. You don't have to hurry. That's one nice thing. I know when I first started out, it was like I wanted to hurry. I was afraid things would dry faster. What I'm going to do now is use my hair dryer, this little cheap thing, and I use a low speed and cool. I'm going to blow the paints across the canvas. So with this, move it around. Kind of reposition it so you can pull your design into however you want it to be. And then if I want to blow some more, I blow some more. Right here along these lines, those cells are getting bigger, which is nice. I like cells. I think they're fun. They add kind of a new dimension to it. And the one nice thing about pouring is that if you don't like a particular piece or part of your design, or it's not working out the way you want it to be, you can just add more color. See, we have some more cells that are popping up down here. But I kind of like that. I want to bring in some of the space, so I can't leave it alone. So I'm going to play with it, change it around a little bit. You can use a palette knife. I like playing. Acrylic hues. See, I see This little lacy area here, I'll blow it out to just expand where I already am. I like what's happening here. They're like these little speckles that are coming out, and this blue, this one here has some iridescence to it. So it's like as it continues to spread, it's like it's getting little sparkles and stuff in it. So I'm just kind of moving things around. You can see the cells getting bigger. So we can let it dry. Put it in somewhere that is flat, and this will probably be totally dry in 3 to 4 days. Sometimes the larger the canvas, I will let it dry up to a week. I'll see how I like it, and if I like it just the way it is, I leave it. If I want to use a resin or a varnish on it, then I choose to do that. And decide if I want to frame it, and then it's all yours. So it's giving yourself permission to just play. Thanks for coming. Look at what a mess.